Okay, so the last video I ended on a little bit of a problem here. I could not apply the border box sizing to the right. Kept on wanting to, oh, well, I did apply it to the aside. So I don't know why it's not working then. So this is one of those situations where Dreamweaver is not showing the truth because I did test it, and this is going to the right place, the right location. Article uh, needs a float left, the side needs float left, and I'm also going to take the WebKit border, the box sizing border box, and apply it to article because I am going to be adding some padding in there too as well. In fact, let me just take that in there as well. Just tack that on there at the end, at the beginning, like that. Then, just to make a test of this, I'm going to type some stuff in the article. And as you can see, the article is showing up where I want it to show up. All right, back in out of live view, I'm going to start selecting these. And again, I'm just going to create some proxy links real quick. So with these links, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a style here for a side A. I'm going to change. I'm going to use the footer background color for this for the color of this text. So that would be color, and then I'm just going to paste that color in. Text decoration, none, because I don't want that underline. And that color, now it's a little light, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do font weight bold. Still a little light. If I go back to my Photoshop file, whoops, you'll see that let's color pick that for just a second. See if I can get that. What happens is that even though you want these two colors to be the same, when you've got a thinner line, the background color can bleed through many times. So what I'm going to do back in Photoshop is I'm going to darken that color just a little bit. Let's see, did I get the pound sign in there? Yeah. Still a little light. So let me add a little color in here using the style designer, and I'm just going to darken it a little bit so that that actually shows up a little bit better. Now the next part, in my opinion, is the hardest part, and that is extracting this image right here. Now what I can do is I can command click the icon on the layers panel, command C, command N, hit return, command V, boom, just like that. I'm going to take the background out because I want to keep those rounded edges. Now I can put a round edge through CSS, but since this is such an easy process, I'll just go ahead and keep it this way. Save for web. And again, this has to be a PNG. So that's the downside of this process, is that if I save it as a JPEG, you'll see those little white corners. And so I do have to save it as a PNG. We'll call this Jenny. Now I'm going to go ahead and after my testimonials, I'm going to hit return for paragraph, and then I'm just going to insert image. Go to my images folder. There's my image, and boom. Don't forget to create an alt tag. Okay. All right, getting there, getting there. Next thing I need to do, go back to Photoshop. I don't need that anymore. I can close that out. And I'm going to copy all of this text right here. Don't forget your top line has a span tag on there. Now in this particular case, should work. I'm gonna this is a little trick I have. I need to get some text in there so I know where that's gonna be. And then I'm just gonna paste that sucker in there like that. Now I want to switch to live view just to make sure everything's in proper order. This top line. Yeah, and welcome to the web design world. Many times you can't design in the world that you actually see, so that can be kind of annoying. I'm going to use a span class inline style. So new inline style. I'm going to create a different size for this. This is going to be like, let's try 18. Ooh, that's not very big, is it? Let's try 24. And that may be all I need. Let me make sure I got the... next thing I want to do in that span, make sure you select that, is that I want to create a bold, not italic, but a bold font like that. So that didn't come out quite exactly the same way. Alright, let's take a look at this in the browser just to see where we're at. Oh, it's getting close. It's getting really close. Alright, we got one last thing left. And that's my footer. So I'm going to do the last little bit there. Now in this particular case, I am not going to put a height on this. All I'm going to do, back to Dreamweaver, is I'm going to just stick in. Now this footer goes at the end of the article. You can actually put it at the end of the section, just so long as it's in the div. There. Go back to Photoshop, copy and paste that content. And again, now in this particular case, what I'm going to do is the footer has that background color. And where is that? The footer background color is this color right here. So we're going to go ahead and, since I'm on that, just pick background there. Let's see if that showed up the way I wanted it to. Yep. And now in this particular case, there's a text align option in there. The text align works in the container that the text is in. So I just centered it, text align equals center, and that center aligns my text. And what I'm also going to do is add, let's do it here. Footer padding top, we'll do, let's do 3 pixels on the top and 3 pixels on the bottom. And my font color, I have to remind myself, my font color is white. So very simple. Let's do FF. Hit return on that. You do have to put that pound sign in there. It's very finicky. Alright. I get it? Alright. And one last look in the browser. There we go. Got a couple of more minutes on this video, so the last thing I'm going to do is my little second header there. As a matter of fact, I kind of want a little bit more padding in there too, to my article, so let me add that to the article. Ooh, I don't have any padding in there at all. So let's add some padding in there. 10 pixels to the right and 10 pixels to the left. Again, I'm just making sure everything's looking good in the browser there. Okay, so the last little bit here, which I turned off, is see the latest projects. That color is 8DAAF, and just to make sure, that is the site background color too. Now, what I did in this particular case, oops, let me, because I hate typing, I'm just going to copy that, and I'm going to paste it. I'm going to give it a, let's give it a H3 here, and paste that in there. Now what that's going to be, as you can probably guess, article H3, and then we're going to go ahead and grab the let's grab the font family from, oops, not that one, not that one, it's the header H1 font family that I want. It's that cursive, and we're going to add that in here. Color, and again I'm going to just grab from back, what is that, the site color, that's this site background color, add that in there. And then to make this work, I'm going to actually go into the text shadow, and we're going to give it, oh, let's just give it, let's do 3, and blur 3, and then the color of my blur, my shadow is black. Don't know what I'm going to get with that. Let's look at it in live view, and don't know why. That is article H3. Oh, don't forget your F. There's the latest project. That's pretty much what I wanted to look like. The only problem is size. So I'm going to go back in here, font size. Where's my font size here? Pixel. Let's do 24. Start with 24. Doesn't seem to do much, so let's do 48. There we go. That looks pretty good. And then the last thing that I want to do with this is, let's try a float on it. And we'll try a float right. That would be so cool if that was a simple thing that I could do right there. But you see, it kind of goes off the edge. So the last thing that I need to do is, well, let's put a little margin in there and see what that does. Let's put more. 20 pixel margin. Boom. That should do it. I think I'm missing one last little thing here. And that is my footer area right in down here. That needs to have rounded corners. So I go back into my footer again, and we'll do the rounded corners. That's with the border area. And then this one is 20 pixels, bottom left, 20 pixels, bottom right. And save that, go back to the web, and refresh, and voila.